Hello, Just2 Film here. Today we're taking a look at the latest Ari Aster film, which is Eddington. Ari Aster always puts out interesting films. I mean, he's 4 films in, and Hereditary is awesome. Midsommar might be his best, and Beau is Afraid is a one-of-a-kind movie. It's not perfect, and I think my review of it is not my current opinion because looking back, it kind of has decreased in my mind, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It's a very strange movie. This once again stars Joaquin Phoenix, and this time we have Emma Stone, one of my favorite actresses. Everything she's starred in recent years has been interesting. You know, Poor Things, The Curse. Okay, we don't talk about Cruella. That was bad. But we also have Pedro Pascal, who I love, Austin Butler. This is set in May 2020 in a New Mexico town, and it is very contemporary to American politics at the time. I mean, we talk about COVID, we talk about protests. I had high expectations for this because I absolutely love contemporary dramas from auteurs. I mean, to my right, I have a poster of Happy End, which is one of my favorite Haneke movies. That is set in 2017. It's made by Michael Haneke. I think he was like in his late 70s at the time. And it tackles things like social media and the refugee crisis in France. It's insane, and I really do love that movie. But I have to say, this did not live up to the hype. This just kind of delivered, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, this aspect's pretty good. Everything about this movie is pretty good, but I don't feel like I got anything new in its experience. It has commentary where it picks sides clearly in what it's trying to show, but the commentary I didn't see provide a new perspective. I was like, okay, yeah, I know this. I know this political party usually does this to further this specific thing. Okay, yeah, that's something that a lot of people felt at the time. Okay, yeah, that's a current event that happened. But I didn't feel like I learned anything new. I didn't feel like it was giving a fresh perspective in any of its contemporary aspects. The characters themselves were, okay, yeah, like, these are kind of interesting to follow. I can't wait to see where this pays off. But I didn't really feel a payoff by the end of the movie. And I felt like I predicted a lot of the trajectories of certain characters. I've seen a character like Joaquin Phoenix's character in this movie in much better films with similar tones. I've seen characters like Pedro Pascal's character and like Emma Stone's character in here. I wish this provided a more fresh experience is what I'm trying to say. And look, Ari Aster has some lovely cinematography in his films and some interesting camera work. I also have to say that this is probably the least interesting in how it's directed out of his 4 films. Again, it's serviceable and like, okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. But there's not a specific scene that sticks out in my mind of, oh, that was shot really well. Oh, I really love the sound design of this specific scene. There was like kind of a semi-wonder like later on in the movie, but they just kind of randomly cut at one point in that. So didn't really have like a full wonder or anything. That might have been one of my more liked scenes in the movie in terms of like what sticks out because like, they use a contemporary song in this specific scene, and by me saying that, it's a pop song, you'll be like, okay, I know what scene you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, that was kind of a fun mix of that song and this, but again, I could just think of better movies that kind of do a similar thing like Happy End, where, okay, we have Chandelier, and it's like a crazy scene in Happy End that's very memorable and felt purposeful. This was just like, okay, yeah, I expected that to happen, and again, kind of cool camera work, but okay. I don't know. This ends on like the last 5 minutes was probably the most surprising thing to me, where I was like, okay, that was actually like a really, I don't even want to say the tone it gave. So maybe a little bit of a spoiler on the tone. I was like, okay, that was kind of like a funny way to end things. But yeah, the last like 20 minutes, I was like, oh, are we really going in this specific direction? I didn't want to get this genre in here. And it feels inconsequential because like the specific genre it goes for, it doesn't feel like there's much of a threat to the character that they're following. And I'm just like, okay, I'm expecting this specific thing to happen to this specific character. I'm just waiting for it to happen because it seems like there's not really a shred of realism in what they're trying to show with what this character is going through right now. And yeah, I want to say so much about this, but I don't want to spoil things, you know? So all I have to say is like, all the technical aspects, okay, the performances were strong performances, but nothing that really stood out. The music, the score, good score. It was used well. But again, nothing that exceeds my expectations. Nothing that's amazing. Again, shot pretty good. Like, okay, it looks good, yeah. But I just wish I got more from this film is what I'm trying to say. I will also say there's distinct moments where this film tries to have humor. There's almost parts where it seems like they leave a section for viewers to laugh. And I don't know, I only laughed once, and it was a quick moment. But I did laugh really hard. The problem with this film, I would say, if you're looking for like problems, is this is way too long. He needs a better editor. I felt this way with Beau is Afraid. This should not have been like over 2 hours. And exactly like I'm saying, what it said didn't feel necessary for those 2 hours. The journey there didn't feel completely like it was worth it. So with all things considered, I'd give this a high 6 out of 10. I wasn't exactly bored at points. I mean, there were stretches here and there, but I was just kind of waiting for more to happen, and that really didn't happen. You know, like a little bit of surprises in the last 5 minutes, but I was like, okay, I wish this went in directions I didn't expect and said more things that I didn't know. It's like I said, I knew just about everything that happened in this movie. I'm like, yeah, I agree. I know that happens. Okay, can I talk about spoilers? I want to talk about spoilers. Ready for spoilers? So I'm like, okay, yeah, we're following less of Pedro's character and more of Joaquin Phoenix's character. He's going to kill Pedro's character, isn't he? Because it seems like he's a loose cannon. Exactly happened. I was like, okay. I expected Joaquin's character to die, to be fair. But that was like the one thing at the end where I was like, okay, that was kind of a funny punchline. Like, he's just used as a prop for the GOP in the last 5 minutes to further their causes that, you know, framing the whole thing that happened as an Antifa attack and things like that. And you have the one person who was like a social justice person comes out as now like an advocate for, you know, the right. I was like, okay, that's funny. Like, I've seen that happen in real life. That was a little bit of like, okay, did he make this all just for this punchline here, which is a dark punchline? And you have like an immobile, paralyzed Joaquin Phoenix character. I like that. But yeah, I was just like, this gunfight at the end is going on way too long, and Joaquin Phoenix's character has like super armor. Everybody around him is getting their heads blown off, and he's just like dodging every bullet, you know, with little injuries here and there. But then again, it looked like he died. You know, he was stabbed and he was shot, but he is just left paralyzed and everything. So that exceeded my expectations a bit because I thought he would die at the very end. Let me know what you thought of this movie in the comments below. Am I right? Am I wrong? Subscribe here for more honest movie takes. Check out my letterbox, which is just too good. And I will see you later. Peace out. Bye.